FedEx full, we commanding the block. Burgundy and gold, got the city on lock. Hustling plays, ain't no need to pretend. DC reppin' strong and we fight to the end. Commanders moving, no breaks, no pause. Hands in the dirt, respecting the call. KDot and Amit dissect the grind. District divider with a city in mind. Join the damn squad, don't miss a bit. And you gotta spread the words, or shit is shit. KDot.
Welcome everyone to District Divided, a DC Sports Podcast. More specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I am Amit. That is KDot. The NFL draft begins tomorrow in just about 24 hours. The first pick will be made, then the second, all the way up until 29, where we may or may not pick. That's where we currently pick. So we're going to go ahead and do a couple mock drafts for you guys today. One where we just go straight through with the picks that we currently have. Again, that's a first round pick, second round pick, fourth round pick, sixth round pick, seventh round pick, and another one where we can also accept trades, propose trades, etc. And then we're going to go ahead and give you a bold prediction for the draft. One for the Commanders, one for the NFL in general, or maybe a couple more than that. We'll see. Comment mailbag as we always do. Before we begin this episode, if you could please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, and KDot.
24 hours to go. I want to be done with this draft shit. And it's shit. Do you know what's on that?
This shit, of course.
Yeah, okay.
We greatly appreciate you guys as always. So with that, let's go ahead.
The wait is over, and then the pick is in. Hurry. To Amit, bitches deserve to be in the kitchen.
Okay, let's talk about the mock draft. let's go ahead and do this mock draft. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen. We're going to go through the 7 rounds. And in this situation, what we're going to do is we are just going to go through it the first time without accepting any trades. We could talk about the trades and be like, man, I really wish I could have accepted it, but we're not accepting it for this go round. Okay.
No trades
in this one. So 7 rounds. We're going fast. Enter solo draft. We have picked the Commanders. Here we go.
What the fuck?
What?
Sorry, it's like EA Sports just tried to download something on my computer, and now I got a big EA Sports logo in my screen. What the fuck is going on? I'm sorry.
Hide that for now.
All right, we hit that. Fuck that trade.
All right, yeah.
Oh,
Donovan just goes just before. So let's
Ezra. Look, the first mock draft I ever did on here. You know what round I picked up Donovan Ezeraku?
Probably second, third, fourth.
The 4th round.
His
it was a great day.
Has been flying ever since then. Yeah, ever since we dropped the episode, people started talking about him a lot more. Ben Robinson's talked about him a whole lot, and the mock draft data has been going crazy. So looking at this so far, Cam Ward goes 1, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter 2, 3. I think Travis Hunter will end up going to the Browns instead, but that's negligible. Anything over here look odd to you, KDot? Or do you trust this site in terms of what it's doing with
I don't trust this site for shit, but it's but it does some work. It does the job. I mean, you know, and you never know. Oh yeah, Shedeur going to Pittsburgh. So it's picking up on some of the latest shit. Mm-hmm. I don't like that the latest shit means that James Pierce and Donovan Ezeraku are both off the board, and even Nick Scarlett. But we also know that there's a very, 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 very high likelihood that one of the bold predictions I think people are making is that there's going to be a shit ton of edges off the board by the time we get here to this point at 29. So it's not outside the realm of possibility. And as of right now, I don't feel the need to go searching for wherever Jack Sawyer is on that list. So I think this pick is easy.
I think this pick is easy as well. I would go Josh Simmons.
I think we are on the same page.
Yeah. All right.
And it's the same thing I said when we were doing the episode with Ben. Is like it ended up being that's the guy I ended up drafting on majority of the mock drafts. He just so happens to fall to us a lot of the times. So that's ends up being the one that you got to make the move on.
Yep. All right. So we're going to draft Josh Simmons over there. This continues to fly. And here we are at 61. Once again, we're high. Ooh. See this I like. You would only move down 2. Like this would not be offered, obviously. But you would move down 2 and get a 3rd round pick next year. 61 and 128, you'd lose that, but we are not taking that in this go round. Yeah. So now over here, oh my gosh, look at this. Okay, so
I saw some names we like off the board already.
Yeah, but I also see some names that we do like. We do like over here. So more specifically, the top 3. So looking back over here in the 2nd round, Quinshon Judkins, to the Dallas Cowboys, 56. Maxwell Hairston. John Kimes mentioned him as somebody that we could take at 29 over here at 53. Landon Jackson, another edge off the board. Jalen Milroe goes in the second round. And Travion Henderson at 39. That's a guy that you and I both love, who is taken by the Chicago Bears over here. Luther Burden, Omarion Hampton, Walter Nolan, etc. Okay, so back to us. KDot over here, what would you do? I see the top 3 names, frankly, are all of interest to me.
Yeah, they are interesting to me. Kenneth Grant falling to this particular spot looks like, okay, that might be the move you want to make. I know that people are going to say that this is maybe a reach for position need, but I'm looking at my big board and who it is that I have in particular spots. Princely Omanama is who I'm looking at. The edge rusher out of Ole Miss is a dude that's also been somebody that I've been kicking around. I've also loved it because he's on this website right there at 61 and we pick at 61. So he's always just been that.
Some nice symmetry there. Yeah.
It works. I mean, do it with a very, very, very high motor. One of the most explosive as far as the edge rushers in this particular draft. But I think that big size, 6'4", 250. Pretty good size. And he can stand up. He can do some things that almost like, I'm not gonna call him Frankie Louvu, but he can do some Louvu-ish sort of shit and have both of those guys kind of move around. I like it, especially considering that. I mean, if we're looking, we want best player available. If we were going to do that, I think Kenneth Grant kind of comes off the board. But if I'm looking at like what it is we did in free agency, I know that we lost out on Jonathan Allen, but if I'm looking at the defensive line and what it is I'm truly looking for, I think the only thing that I really need is a pass rush specialist or somebody that can help me in that department. So that's where I want to lean towards. But Carson Schwessinger, as far as the linebacker, then learn under the tutelage of Bobby Wagner, also very interested to me. And Caleb Johnson is another one of the running backs that I've liked to see play. I've liked some of his highlights, and I wouldn't necessarily be not into receiving him too. But Umana is my guy.
Okay. And so let's continue that conversation for a second. So do you think that in this spot, because last year it was Johnny Newton, right, who fell into the second round, falls into our laps, we go, hey, we're going to take the guy. Like, we're just glad he's here. We do so. Now, we had done that with a defensive tackle. This is pick 61. According to the site, Kenneth Grant 37. According to the mock draft data that Ben Robinson has, this guy's a first-round pick. So if he's falling to the end of the second round,
you got to do it. I don't think he'll be there when we're doing this, but yeah, I get it.
We'll go ahead and take Princely. But
we don't have. I mean, if Kenneth Grant fell to, like, if this should we do it the way this
happened, then
should we do it that way, or what we think is most likely to occur tomorrow night?
Let's take your guy on this one. Carson Schwessinger. I just wanted to quickly say that he was also a name associated with us recently, and Caleb Johnson, someone we brought in for a visit. So just quick notes on them as well as we take Princely. All right, and now there's a little bit of a wait as we go to pick 128 over here, KDot.
You know what I'm looking for, and I just saw one of our guys is gone.
Which guy is gone for you as I reject that?
I think I just saw our Virginia Tech running back leave.
Oh, did you see Tootin go?
I thought so.
Tootin. Damian Martinez gone. Yep, there he is.
He is a giant.
He's a New York Giant. Okay.
But I would like to pick up on that. I would like to click that little offense tab and see who's just remaining at running back, just to take a look.
Sure. We can absolutely do that. So we go, my
look at that. Whoa, wouldn't you know?
This isn't a conversation. We got to indulge.
Who's that guy?
We're taking Dylan Sampson. We're taking Dylan Sampson, who's KDot's crushing this draft, just to be clear. Looking at all the other names, they pale in comparison to KDot's crush over here. So let's go ahead and take Dylan Sampson. All right, that was easy. Cool. We're having a great draft, KDot.
I'm having a good time. I'm having a good old day.
You're having a great time. Let's go ahead and see 205, and then we have 245 after, and that's going to round out the draft over here. All right, so now we're getting to the part where I don't know names particularly well. So what do we want to do here, KDot?
this is when we get to this particular point, I don't have any fun names. There's no Storm Duck or anything I'm looking out for at this particular point in time. So I'm really looking at all right, where do I like to just have guys? I start looking at the trenches, right? There's nobody here at this particular range right now that I'm like, all right, I need to take that flyer on. So I'd be switching back and forth between those tabs as far as offensive line and defensive line to see who it is we want to add to the Commanders.
Okay, yeah. So one of the things I think about is I remember the time Tyler Biotish was out and Michael Dieter came in, and just how scared I was, generally speaking. And so I wonder,
plays you should have been.
Yeah, and knowing nothing about Jake Majors, I almost wondered, do we just take the guy? See if he's any good.
I would say hit the offensive tackle and the offensive guard. Let's kind of go through some of these a little bit.
Okay.
There's some guys. All right. So Dalton Cooper, that's a reach for anything there as far as tackle. So we're probably going to go there.
Same thing here.
Right there. And then you just got offensive.
174.
I think Jake Majors is now a Commander.
Jake Majors, a Commander. Let's quickly.
Unless you want to look defensive. Yeah, defense.
Let's touch on the defense. Elijah Roberts.
Okay.
D tackle.
SMU.
Are we feeling okay at D tackle?
How are you feeling? It feels as though, you wanted to make that, once again, if what's the name? Michigan defensive
Kenneth
tackle.
Grant. Yeah.
Bingo, bango, bongo. If he ends up there at 61, I think we know it'll probably happen.
Right.
But,
so
I don't know, man. Now that we added Princely, I'm kind of okay.
Let's take Jake. Welcome to the Commanders, Jake. Jake Majors, officially a Washington Commander with a name like Majors as well, going to the Commanders. I think it makes a lot of sense over here. And then we conclude with pick 245, where, hey, look, if you really are interested in this number and you go, hey, we're pick 245, I see 177, you could take Peebles over here from Virginia Tech. D tackle. You could. Otherwise, you could. Tell you what, I watched some Colorado. I like Jimmy Horn. Also, the symmetry once again.
Hit wide receiver. I want to see who's on that list.
Yeah, Jimmy Horn's on the list.
Sorry, I'm moving my head around a little bit. I'm trying to get around my camera. Yeah, I don't know a lot of these names. What do you know about? You like Jimmy?
I like Jimmy.
Welcome to Washington, Jimmy Horn Jr.
Let's go, Jimmy Horn. All right, cool. So we went ahead and did it. So if we were to keep all our picks, this is what we would do. We get Josh Simmons in the first round to us, which I think we'd be quite happy with as we continue to bolster the offensive line. As you know, we got Laramie Tunsil this past offseason via trade with the Houston Texans. Feeling good about it. You get Josh Simmons as well. Princely, KDot's guy. I'm going to leave it there for now. Dylan Sampson.
Raku, but he's Princely. Uman.
Uman Milan? Is that how it is? Uman Milan?
I see.
Yeah, Princely Uman Milan.
It.
Yeah, I know.
Uman.
And then we got Dylan Sampson, who is actually KDot's. What would you say? Let's see. So there's Ashton, obviously. Travion you have there. And then would it be Dylan Sampson for you?
Dylan Sampson is my favorite player in the draft.
Favorite player in the draft, Dylan Sampson.
I'm not saying he's the best. He's my favorite.
Okay, he's your favorite. And so we get him in the fourth round. And then, of course, I take over Jake Majors, Jimmy Horn. They become
slam dunks.
Commanders. Slam dunks.
They're Hall of Famers.
We're feeling pretty good about it. So now we're going to go ahead and run through this again. This time we can accept trades. Okay. So here we go. Restart. 7. Fast.
Gotta go fast.
It's very, very important you go fast. And then we're going to enter this draft. All right.
All right, let's see.
And so
is there a chance we don't want to trade out of this? Depending on who...
It'd be pretty funny, yeah. Okay, so we have 3 trade offers. First, let's go ahead and quickly look over here and see how this went. So Ward, Carter, Hunter, Grant. Okay, pretty similar to the last one. Makes sense. Shamar Stewart goes a lot higher. Let's see, Mike Green, Dal Shador. Pittsburgh trades up for him in this instance. Let's see, Genty drops all the way to 18. That would be something if that actually happened during the draft. Tyler Booker, a guy that John Keim really, really likes. is gone as well to the Bengals. All right, cool. Back to us. I believe I clicked this. Okay. So we have 3 offers.
Zaraku's still there.
Ezraku is still there. So that's something to consider. Okay. So that's something to consider. So the
Jihad
Cleveland Browns,
Campbell.
Jihad Campbell dropped as well, who I also like. Let's see. So these are the 3. Just a quick overview. Browns pick 33 and a second round pick next year, which it's the Browns. Not a bad idea. By the way, fun fact on the Browns, I basically constructed a list, just a table, short table of the last 3 first round picks for each team. Okay. And the Browns, of course, didn't have any because of the Deshaun Watson trade.
Yeah.
Those 3 first round picks resulted in Jordan Davis, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Brian Thomas Jr.
Stupid motherfucker.
I mean, that's 100% success rate. So if you're going to trade with a team, I'm just saying trading with Cleveland's not a bad idea. So pick 33, 2026 second over there.
Good to know.
Pick 59, 91, a second and a third for 29 and 205.
Baltimore is desperate.
Very desperate. And the Patriots pick 38 and pick 77. So you were +1 on the pick this year, and you dropped 9 spots. I would say no to the Ravens pick because you're dropping too far, in my opinion. So I would say no to that. What about you, KDot?
I'm off on the Ravens pick. There's one that I'm really not considering.
Okay. And so then there's this one where you're only dropping down 4 spots. You get a second next year. We don't have a second right now.
Yeah.
Right. So got to keep that in mind. We would also lose pick 128. This is also very intriguing to me.
I like the Patriots trade offer.
Because you're getting 77 as well, right?
Getting 77. I get the dip back in there. The only thing is that like, the way these mock drafts are going and the closer we get to it, some of the guys that were falling to a certain degree in that territory, like in the second round, third round-ish. So like some of the early ones you had, like Henderson was falling a little bit and like you could get him in that spot or whatever. Like those were cool to me. But right now it feels as though we might make this trade and we don't know who the fuck it is we're picking.
On the plus side, right? So you would have 38, you would have 61, and then you would have 77. So now all of a sudden, if you want
boom, boom, boom.
If you want a running back, well, now at 38, we saw Travion Henderson go, you
might want to
around there. You could do it with 38 potentially. And then you have 61 and 77 to do some other stuff. So that's the thought process.
Your Browns trade lore has me interested. I'm not doubting that. But I also want more bites of the apple this year. I don't want to lose any more bites of the apple this year because we already have so few bites of the apple.
Right. Agreed.
I don't want to get rid of 128. So if there's any one of these that I'm going to do, it would probably be accept this offer. But Donovan Ezraku's still around.
So what would you rather do? Would you rather take Ezraku or would you rather take this trade?
All right, look, for the purposes of this exercise, and we want to do it with the trade, I would accept this trade. But that being said, if this is what happened, I would select Jihad Campbell.
After all that. I mean, hey, he's a dog. Let's see. Kenneth Grant's still there. There are enough good names. Let's see what happens. All right. We accept.
Travion Henderson off the board.
All right. Okay, hold on. First off, Travion's still there. Maxwell Harrison, still there.
Oh.
Okay, so hold on. So Donovan goes 31.
He's going to go win a Super Bowl in Kansas City. Good job, Don.
Congrats.
Right
after they declined Jahan's 5th-year option. Let's see.
Oh, Dart's going to Cleveland. That pick would have been worth a ton.
Yeah, it would have been. Let's see. Jihad Campbell's still
there.
Oh,
my God, he's still there.
I think. So what?
Look, man.
This is nuts.
Campbell's not going to be there, right?
Right.
Henderson.
Let's take Henderson. Can't wait for him to be available at 61. All right, we're taking trade.
Oh my God! If that fucking happens.
So hold on. So we do have 2 trade offers.
We got 2 trades over. Okay.
38 for 55 and 86. And 48 and 98. I would take neither.
Yeah, let's
and yeah, we take Travion Henderson here.
Okay, how much do you like Grant in that combo right there?
Kenneth Grant, I like him, but I think with Travion fitting a need as well.
Okay.
And I do, by the way, think he's that good. So if I see him at 38 after we've traded down, I'm like, yo, there are even reports right now, KDot, that we're interested at 29 because so many teams are high on Travion Henderson right now. So if he's available at 38,
I'm fully in the conversation of looking at him at 29, depending on how things shake out.
Yeah.
If there's a huge run on edge rushers, kind of like what we saw in the last time, and let's say, just for the sake of argument, that Josh Simmons is also off the board by the time we pick around from there.
Right.
I might reach in that Travion Henderson back.
Agreed. Okay, and so here we have one trade offer. We have arrived at pick 61. It is pick 70 and a third next year from the Jacksonville Jaguars for 61 and 205. Would you entertain this offer?
No, I'm out.
All right, and we are out. Let's see what's available to us.
All right, you don't want to know what I'd do here.
That means that's my cue as one of the hosts to ask you what you would do here, KDot. What would you do?
The Ohio State boys are teaming out in the backfield marketing.
Well, we did double tight end last year. Double backs. Princely's available. Princely's available.
I might double dip. I might get that Ohio State thunder and lightning.
So, walk with me there for a moment.
I do like Carson's question.
Yeah. I mean, there's some guys here. There's some guys here. Quinshon Judkins, having just taken Travion Henderson for a moment, where would that leave the entire running back room?
Fighting! Fight for the life!
So dumb. It's just a Hunger Games in the running back room. Okay, so
y'all want to play edge?
That's what we do with B-Rob. Let's see. So what would you actually do here? Knowing that you've taken Travion, you've got Carson on the board here. I don't think you're looking at Mason Taylor. We still believe in Ben Sinnott. TJ Sanders, it's a D tackle, but I don't think it's that much better that you're like, oh, that's definitely the best player available.
Right.
So, and then we're Princely again, right? So what would you do here, KDot?
I might just say, fuck it, Princely. We got our Travion Henderson and we get our edge, but
okay, cool.
That's where I'm leaning.
Calling the shot. We take Princely. He is the first person we've taken twice.
All right,
how about this?
Do it.
There's another trade offer.
No, the other one.
We're not doing this one. We're doing this one.
Carolina, you dumb fucks.
Yeah, it's a really dumb trade. Okay, cool. Let's see. No, we're not doing that.
Not doing that.
All right, cool. So, yeah. All righty. So, interesting. Okay, so once again, we've taken Travion Henderson and Princely Umanmielen, edge out of Ole Miss. I like that we have more picks here, KDot. See, we started with 5. We have 5 left, and we've taken 2 players. That's pretty nice. And so now we've got the running back. We've got the edge.
Yep.
You could get another edge if you want to. I'm honestly looking at Emory Jones over here, but I don't know about you.
I'd select Jordan Burch.
Jordan Burch. So you would double up on edge.
Spoiler alert. My bold Commanders draft prediction is we will double dip. Whether it be running back or whether it be edge, we're double dipping. Double dip.
Okay.
Double dipping.
Well, after that, we got to do it. All right, Jordan Burch it is. We're taking Jordan Burch.
Interesting dude. I think he slipped up a bit, but he was a 5-star recruit coming out. I remember I had him when we were doing our edge rushing stuff. I was looking at some of the stuff that he was coming at. It's just he showed so many flashes for some athletic tendencies, but he just didn't do what he's supposed to do with them. And that's where I look at the coaching staff and be like, that could be interesting. And I like the idea of having 2 of those guys. I think it could be cool.
Okay. And here is the one trade offer we have. We would give up 128 and 245 for 143, 213, 215. Would you do this?
I don't hate that, but there is somebody that I see on that board that I don't know if you like him as well. I think you do. That
who are you thinking of?
I want. There's a safety out of Penn State.
Jalen Reed.
Like he might need to put on that burgundy and gold.
Yeah, so it was between him and honestly, I no problem with the hometown guy in Ty Felton, wide receiver out of Maryland. He's best player available over there, and he stays in the backyard basically and gets to play for the Washington Commanders. I'm good with it. I'm also a bit more okay with the wide receivers we currently have, and I like Jalen Reed, so I would go ahead and do that. Yeah, so I agree with you. Safety. Yeah, we're good.
Yep,
let's do it. All right. So looking at our picks, we are now at 153. Once again, recapping what we've done so far: Travion Henderson, Princely Umanmielen, Jordan Birch, and Jalen Reed. So 3 defensive players and a running back so far, KDot, as we continue here in the draft. So what do you see over here? I'm seeing D tackle. I'm seeing edge again. Tight end, I'm probably not touching just because everyone's back. Guard, what are you thinking?
I kind of want you to hit that little offensive tab and see what running back's looking like.
Well, Devin Neal's available.
Yes, he is. Isn't that quaint?
You want to do Devin Neal?
I won't do it. I won't do it. We already double dip. I'm going to let you handle this. LaQuint Allen.
You could do like LaQuint Allen. Let's see. Raheem Rocket Sanders over here. Taj Brooks, Jaden Blue. Some guys, man. Running back's deep. Running back is deep. Makes you wonder if we should have taken Jahad Campbell because he was somehow available and then taken one of these guys instead.
No, we got Trey. You're not second guessing Anderson.
I am pumped. I'm pumped about Travion Anderson.
If that happens at any point during this draft, we're ecstatic.
Yes, you're right. How about let's see. Not a big fan of the skill position players here right now, considering what we've done. All right, best player available. Yeah, Jordan Phillips. I think we just do it. Still, best player available, Maryland. The criteria still fits. It's just a D tackle instead of a wide receiver. You good with it?
It's between him and Garrett Dellinger. He ain't got Maryland next to his names. Go.
Simple as that. All right, cool. Now we wait till 2:05. I think we have what? Do we have 3 left? 2 left. Two left. Oh, Peebles. We were toying with him last time. Oh, you know what? How about Za Frazier? How about Za? So it's starting to fit, right? Don't have the corner yet. Got a safety in Jalen Reed. Team needs corners right there.
We're getting a little of that. We're getting a little of that draft for need, but I'm liking it. It feels very thorough.
Let's go with Za. Za.
Who doesn't like some Za?
Everyone loves Za, dude. Might get some Za for the draft as well. And now we're at the very last pick. What do you want to do here? Another Maryland guy? Dante Trader? His name's Dante Trader? That's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. But I do see another name I just like saying. Jeffrey Buzza.
What about Zeke Biggers? That's another good name.
I don't want another D tackle. I'm done with that.
Fine. We did.
What'd you do? Did you Buzza?
Took a guy. Yeah.
I like it. I like the idea of them having another running back to go with another linebacker to go with Jordan McGee, and let's learn some shit from Bobby Wagner before he pieces out.
Yeah. No, I think that's totally fair because we talked about, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, but just to quickly conclude, Travion Henderson, Princely Umanmielen, I'm getting a bit better at it, I think. Jordan Birch, Jalen Reed, Jordan Phillips, Za Frazier, and Jeffrey Bassa over there to conclude.
Za Bassa!
To conclude our mock draft over there. So you had mentioned Jordan McGee and Bobby Wagner also being potentially on his way out. So linebacker it's a really good point, KDot, because I wanted Bobby back for this year, but it always was for me a 2-year plan because then after that, he's going to be a bit older unless he has another outstanding season and somehow an even better postseason than last season where he's like healthy and he's good is probably it. So you do want to start bringing in linebackers as well. So totally understand the pick over there. What'd you make of the mock drafts we did?
I was going to ask, which one did you prefer?
I prefer the second one.
I think I do too.
Yeah.
No, I do like Dylan Sampson being in the Burgundy.
It's your favorite player in the draft.
He's my favorite player in the draft. But even when I did the ranking, what did I say? He's not the best fit. That's Travion Henderson across the board, right? So, like, if I'm looking at, all right, did we do we not skew too far away from best player available at any given point in time, other than skipping over Jahai Campbell, which seems like we wouldn't necessarily do if it was really the situation.
Right.
But the way that everything got shaked out, we got what we need as far as from a positional need standpoint. Hopefully these guys can coach them up. I'm not going to say that I'm too familiar with everybody that we drafted, other than like saying their names. But I like Princely. I love Travion Henderson. And I do like Jordan Birch, even though I know some people aren't as high on him as I am.
Yeah.
So I like that crew.
Yeah, and again, so we take the running back in Travion Henderson, and after that, it's edge, safety, D tackle, corner, linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
You talk about a defense focus, right? Everything else goes towards the defense after that.
But I mean, that's the thing. The free agency, what did we address? We addressed offense more than anything, right? As far as like if you're looking at where the big names go, or the ones
the big names, sure.
Everything else
is defense.
No, I get it. I was just saying, as far as the moves made this offseason that seem like they're going to have the most oomph is going to be that skills player named Deebo Samuel, and what it is we got in our dominant Laramie Tunsil. So like those two guys added to an offense that was already at the clip that it was last year. You bring in Jason. I almost called Jaden Daniels Jason Campbell.
Don't you dare.
Racist.
I didn't know if I was allowed to say that to you. Go ahead.
You're not, for the record. But the idea that Jaden comes in his second year, they didn't just not do anything. They addressed the position needs. Like we went after and we got what it is we needed to as far as on left tackle. You're moving over some other guys. It looks good offensively that they're doing what it is they can do to get him in the next step, right? They're not just saying, hey, kid, figure it out. And I think defense ends up being the side of the football. If you look last year, that's the one that we needed. We're not remembering what the offense didn't do in the playoffs for us. We're remembering what defense did and getting their asses kicked at numerous times over the course of the season. So
right.
We need guys on that side of the football.
That we do, and we addressed it in our mock draft. So please tell us what you think. Heck, post your mocks if you want to in the comment mailbag, which we will also get to here.
You want to, Coach.
In just a moment. But let's go ahead and give some bold predictions for the draft because, hey, it is tomorrow. So exciting time. No trades have been made in the first round so far. This is the longest this has gone since I think 2014 or something like that a single first round pick has not been moved. Also a unique situation where everyone has their own first round pick. That also hasn't happened in years. So KDot, over to you. We're calling this a 1-1. One bold Commanders prediction and one bold NFL as a whole prediction, maybe a specific player, specific team. It's over to you.
I see Washington double dipping. I say that prediction. I think it might be two edges. But I know it seems crazy. I would not be completely shocked if they also walked away with two running backs out of this draft. I wouldn't be. And I'm all for it.
Okay.
And Adam Peters, I trust. Outside of that, as far as other bold predictions, I mean, the thing with this draft, it's a weird one, right? So, like, predictions that you might be able to say last year or any other year prior for this one don't seem all that crazy. Like, if I want to say, hey, only one quarterback gets picked in the top 10, I don't think anybody looks at me like I've lost my mind if I say some shit like that, right?
No.
Part of me thinks Shedeur doesn't get past Vegas.
Oh, wow.
And you know how I am with my Vegas picks. I don't feel as confident as I have other things, but I got a feeling that Shedeur is not, that the Vegas is not out on Shedeur. I think it's stupid. I think it's vastly stupid. I do like more mocks are seeing Shedeur go to Pittsburgh. So I think that, so fuck it. I mean, we're not putting any money on this. I got enough money on other things. Shedeur Sanders gets drafted by the Vegas Raiders or does not get drafted at all in the first round.
Okay. So I contrast a little bit with both until what you said at the very end. So the Commanders, I think the first round pick, I think the second round pick, I think neither is used on edge. So I think that when I look at the offseason moves that we made, and I understand it's to supplement, but I see Javon Kinlaw, who we've talked about elephant end. Okay, so maybe he's the one setting that edge. Dietrich Wise, Eddie Goldman, Jacob Martin. These are not big names, but they are veterans and to an extent proven. And I think we've thrown a lot of bodies at that already. So I think what we may end up doing is going, okay, well, let's see how that looks. But there are other spots that we want to look at. So I would anticipate that corner is something that we prioritize pretty highly. I think there's a bit of a drop off after the first few corners. If a guy like Will Johnson falls, by the way, we're sprinting that to the podium. So that's mine, is that we actually don't get an edge with the first 2 picks. And then the other one is that I'm beginning to think, and now there's fire around it. I don't know. I don't think Shedeur is going in the first round. So I think that Jalen Milroe is also the much more likely quarterback to go to Pittsburgh. So Arthur Smith is the OC over there. And he, well documented, loved Justin Fields more than Russell Wilson. Loved him for the athleticism. Shedeur is going to stand in the pocket. And I think he's going to be good, just to be clear. I do think so, but I think that there's a lot that comes with him that teams are not interested in. Certainly, head coaches may not be interested in it, especially if they're on the hot seat already, with Deion being like, I want to coach my sons. That's out there. And then a GM may also be like, well, what if Deion doesn't like me? Like all of a sudden I bring him in, he doesn't like me either. I don't know. It's Deion Sanders who's going to disagree with the guy. So I think when you look at the people making the decision to bring in Shedeur and what that could come with, it's maybe less job security. So I think they are all like, nope. So from that perspective, I don't think they want it. And I do think Jalen Milroe, I think people are very, very high on his athleticism. They let him sit, and they will, by year 2 or year 3, have a more polished passer that has, again, supreme athleticism. That's what people are really in love with right now. Accuracy needs work, but Jalen Milroe to Pittsburgh makes much more sense to me than Shedeur to Pittsburgh, just in my estimation. So those are my bold predictions.
I've never been high on Shedeur. I just haven't. But I will say the report that I just saw was yesterday, or might have been this morning, about one of the NFL GMs speaking off the record talking about how the interview was the worst.
Bullshit.
I think it's absolute horseshit. I do think some of the Deion stuff is getting a little overblown. And I've had my jokes with it, especially when anyone was tying Shedeur to Dallas. I was like, fucking bring it, baby. Please bring it. I don't think Deion's going to be an issue at all. I really don't. But there's I don't know. I'm rooting for the kid. There was nothing I saw in college or anything else that made me think that I was all that impressed. But the thing that has not left my head this entire process is hearing how much Tom Brady loves him.
So there you go. And so that's why I really like your bold prediction. It's like, hey, he's either going at 6 or maybe they trade up and get him or something like that.
Raider thing to do.
Or, yeah. I mean, you've called their pick every single year. So I would be inclined to believe
it'd be here's the thing. I just got to reiterate. It's the boldest Raiders pick I've ever made. It's the dumbest thing they could do. It is literally the dumbest thing they could do. They should not do this. And I have more faith in Tom Brady.
Yep.
I have faith in Tom. I like Gino. I like what they got going. I think they got a shot at something. And you know how I feel about their tight end. But there's I feel like there's a possibility.
Would it be more or less shocking than the Falcons taking Penix last year?
More at this point.
Okay.
I think at this point, with the narrative that is growing about Shedeur, I think that this would be immediately, I'm on the phone with every Raiders fan I know being like, ha, 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 and hearing them trying to sell themselves on it. Which I have my Raiders fan who's been here on the show, James, he texted me earlier today, was like, are you guys doing the live show for the draft? I'm like, yeah, we're doing a live show. It was like, you sure you want to know about that?
That's a good point. He may be the first guest, depending on what it is. Speaking of that, we are doing a live show beginning around pick 27. We were talking about it, unless the Commanders move up, of course, in which case that's something we haven't really considered. But Adam Peters said he's open to anything and everything. So maybe there is somebody that he really, really likes. He moves up for. We will go live should that occur. Otherwise, we plan on going live around pick 27 when the Ravens pick gives us about 20 minutes to talk about the draft, who's left for us to take, who we ultimately take. We can analyze that a little bit, or if we trade down. well, what do we want to do with the picks that we now have? So we're going to go ahead and do that for you guys tomorrow. So please tune in to that. Any final thoughts there, KDot, or anything you want to say about it before we move to the comment mailbag?
This has been one of the least stressful draft prep things I've ever been a part of. I don't feel stressed at all. I feel like anybody that they name or pick is going to be good for us. And is going to be able to contribute. And I feel so high about my team. I've never felt this way going in and out of a draft. It's weird.
To put it in contrast, our last 3 first-round picks, not named Jaden Daniels, Jabin Davis, Jahan Dotson, Emmanuel Forbes. None of them are on the team, and those days are over. You can now trust the general manager that's making the picks, which is very exciting. So with that, we go over to the comment mailbag featuring an intro from our very own Nikki.
Dog days are over.
Comment mailbag time, motherfuckers. District divided, ain't got time for no suckers. Spread the word, get in line. OGs and new G's, it's your time. And spread the gospel, cause this shit is divine. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, as always, for that intro, Nikki. Appreciate it. And we begin with, sorry, my phone froze for a second. That's why I froze as well. Let's see. It is now finally coming up. Okay. Thank you for your patience, guys. All things considered, I'm surprised this hasn't happened in the comment mailbag before. We've done so many. Here we go. All right. Beginning with Coach Lombard. Shout out, Coach. I appreciate Ben's contribution to your conversation. This is in reference to Ben Robinson, author of Grinding the Mocks, who also got featured on the Washington Post. So shout out to Ben Robinson. His contributions to our episode, where he was talking about the various players and where they could go, when they could go. I appreciate Ben's contribution to your conversation. What are his thoughts on positional value and surplus value? Ben mentioned edge, and I anticipate a massive round 1 run on edge. Mike Green was accused of SA twice, and how he doesn't draft guys with SA or other DV charges. I mentioned Devin Neal previously, and he's the exact type of running back, explosive, great receiver, that complements Daniel's style. And that is somebody that Ben had actually mentioned as well for us, Devin Neal in the 4th round, because we had talked about running backs. Would we take one in the 2nd round after we take an edge in the 1st round? Turns out Ben goes, hey, don't do that. Because when you look at your past with Antonio Gibson, with Brian Robinson, they're good, they're fine. But have they been worth that pick? So if I am the Commanders, I being Ben in this case, am the Commanders, I'm looking for this on day 3. And I'm looking for a guy that can catch out of the backfield, someone like a Devin Neal, which is what Coach Lombard is saying as well. So KDot, your reaction to the comment there.
Dylan Sampson.
Who we got at 128, by the way.
We did! I keep going back and forth about which draft I like the most. My favorite, I feel like I'm contradicting myself all the time. Do you know my favorite pick that we made?
No. Well, I would assume it was Dylan Sampson, but it could be Princely also. We got him twice.
Simmons.
Josh Simmons. Just nice, easy. It's boring, but it helps.
You slot him the right tackle. We got a new guy at left tackle, and then Coleman gets to go in the interior where we all feel better that his athleticism might be able to carry him further, and we might get more bang for our buck of him in the interior, and then switch around the other guys wherever we need as far as injury goes, and then wait for our guy to get healthy again and come back. I like that a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Josh Simmons, should we get him, I'd be thrilled. Just to be clear, I think now I'm looking at our offensive line, and I think it can now compete with these monstrous pass rushes that are going to be in our division, that already are in our division. Assuming the Giants end up with Abdul Carter, and assuming the Eagles end up with another, they just draft linemen over and over and over and over again.
Yep.
Right? This is your reality. And when we played Dallas twice, when Jaden was in, it didn't look pretty in terms of protecting him. So that's 6 games a year where you need to be able to protect the guy. I think getting Josh Simmons along with Laramie Tunsil, I'm feeling a heck of a lot better. Brandon Coleman, you can slide now inside. Sam Cosme, take your time getting back. And then when you're back, oh my goodness, like I feel really nice about our offensive line. So
give Jade another beat in that pocket to just do something other than what he's like, Jesus Christ, what does that ceiling look like?
Right. We finally have the guy, give him as much time as possible. Yeah. And so I completely agreed there. Big Papa Grizzly goes, draft analysis and a new Commanders log all in one day. Man, we are a lucky fan base. Keep up the excellent work, gentlemen. Fuck the haters. Share this shit. Appreciate the comment as always.
You are blessed. You are blessed.
You are blessed. Hey, we're all blessed, buddy. And the draft being tomorrow too. I'm excited for it. Oh, KDot, we got a couple from JG. You remember JG from last week? Said you could use a little seasoning. You remember that? Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Well, here's JG-VQ6RD. Okay. He goes, wait a minute. Did he really say Champ Bailey did not amount to much in the NFL? I must have heard that wrong. And then next paragraph. What the fuck? He did say it at about 40 minutes into the video when he was talking about Travis Hunter. So for the first one, JG, I'll take this one, Kata. I went back and I heard what Ben Robinson said. And he was referring to players that played both ways in college, and that skill, being able to do both, not amounting too much in the NFL. Champ Bailey himself was excellent, and so was Charles Woodson. And, like, Dion was excellent. So if anything, that bodes well for Travis Hunter. He's probably going to be excellent. There's a reason he's going to be the number 2, maybe number 3 pick overall, but no lower in the NFL. I just wanted to be very clear about what Ben was saying. He was not saying that Champ Bailey didn't amount to anything in the NFL. It was just a two-way player staying a two-way player. That idea would not matter.
Champ's stint at wide receiver didn't do that much in the NFL. That's what he's trying to say. Yeah.
There we go. And here's the second one from JG. LOL, it must have been a slow comment day if my comment about KDot's volume was worth responding to. For the record, I like KDot's commentary, but he does get kind of loud the more excited he gets. Even his mic couldn't take it. Also, for the record, I have nothing to do with the VQ6RD. I assume that was auto-generated by YouTube to distinguish me from the other JGs. Hey, KDot, I'm in my late 60s, so I'm not sure what additional seasoning I need. Do I need to swear more? Go ahead, KDot.
All right, so you kind of proved my point with everything you just said. What's his name? JG? JG. All right, so here, I'll put it to you this way. Hearing your age now and the way that comment kind of folded, I'm still saying you're unseasoned. It's like you get a good piece of steak or good chicken breast, just some meat, and your idea of seasoning is a sprinkle of salt. Maybe you threw some garlic cloves in the same pan that it was in, and you threw that bitch in the oven. I'm now saying that not only are you unseasoned, you've been in that bitch too long. You're a little burnt out. You look cooked. All right, but I like that you like what it is we have to say. I do get animated. It's why when I say unseasoned, I just don't think you've been around a lot of spades tables. It's a way of being.
All right. Well, what I wanted to say, JG, was that one, obviously, I'm with KDot. 2, we respond to every comment. So whatever you write, JG, it was slow day, fast day, we're going to read it. We are going to read it. So whatever you write next, I cannot wait to read. And we appreciate you tuning in. Also, OG, it's true.
Aww.
It's true.
JG. Be here, don't be here. Watch your
shit. This is where me and my co-host differ sometimes. I'm like, you know what? I understand where they're coming from. Trying to understand where they're coming from. And we appreciate
I want viewership. If you're upset with me, you're upset with me. That's cool. We have not reached a level at which I got to give a shit about whether or not you like me or dislike me.
Well,
you add to the numbers. That's what I care about.
Well, right? I think you double down once the numbers increase, right? Because then they like you for you being you.
I don't want to chase it in the sense like I want us to be our authentic selves. And the authentic version of me is I'm loud as shit and I curse a lot. Hasn't helped me back yet. Maybe that day will come, but times have changed.
We conclude with Jess Santo. OG over here, shout out.
Yes.
Howdy doody, fuckaroonies. A friend of mine who is also a Commanders fan moved to Tennessee years ago. Last Sunday, I received a text from him. He was standing with St. Gibbs at the Bristol races. My friend said that the Saint was very humble and easygoing, fun to talk to. He told my buddy that this team is going somewhere for the first time in a long time. Gibbs even let his 9-year-old daughter wear his Super Bowl rings. A few days later, I was mailed an autographed pamphlet signed by the Saint and a graded Jaden Daniels walk-off Hail Mary rookie card. By the way, that's worth a lot. Dope-ass gifts for my command bunker, which will begin construction soon. Has anyone noticed that the name is becoming a non-issue across the national media? There are some fans that are going to hold on to the Redskins name in their crinkled hands until their last sweet breath is uttered. Skins for life. This will be a fun draft. Nothing is set in stone. Everything is on the table. And for once, we are not in the quarterback shadow realm. I do not want any Sheagles trades either. They leave you feeling gross like Lombard fucked her. KDot will get the reference. Love the show as always and spread the feces. Clearly, KDot got it as he veers off camera. Over to you. You can explain the reference. You can choose not to. It's over to you.
You've earned your pieces of flair, Jess. You've earned your piece of flair. Good bit. Great bit. I love Jess. What the fuck else did Jess say? St. Gibbs. I remember years back, my dad, he worked at Home Depot for a very long time. And when they would do the training camp, Home Depot had a partnership with the Redskins as far as the training camp. So we used to get the behind the scenes passes to go to training camp. So we got to eat lunch with the players under a tent and like go and take photos and everything with them. I have some of those photos still. Maybe if we have an after the pod or something at some point, I could show the worst photo of me ever taken in the history of photos. Me and Marcus Washington. It's fucking terrible. And then also a photo of Sean Taylor looking upset at my cousin because he said something as he was taking a photo of him. And also I have a bunch of autographs, and my dad got to actually sit down and have lunch with Joe Gibbs. And he said that he was one of the kindest human beings, and it made everything kind of worthwhile. And I was very upset that he handed me all this merch with his signature on it. He was like, why I need lunch with him? Because I didn't really eat lunch. I was just taking photos and bothering the players a lot. But good times. He is a Saint. All those guys, those legends from back then. The only one that I want to hang out with, though, and I still think there's a chance one day we can get him here on this pod. And it'd be awesome if he was like our first celebrity guest on this pod. But I want Rigo here with us.
Oh, Riggins for sure. That'd be cool because he would also just say whatever he's thinking, which I would love.
And look, it ain't this year, but last year we were outdoing him as far as YouTube numbers, so I thought there was a shot. Like this,
we could reach out. Speaking of reaching out, someone that's wanted us to reach out to people for a very long time, Earl Bruce. This was a couple episodes ago. I was scrolling through the comments and noticed that I missed this one, so I apologize. This is from the running back preview episode, by the way.
Damn.
Yeah, so Earl Bruce, 12 days ago, goes, Samson's hips are too tight. I'm just kidding. It's Hampton. Omari and Hampton's hips are too tight. Can Sampson return punts in the NFL is a question. So, KDot, can Dylan Sampson return punts in the NFL?
I don't know, and I don't care.
He's your favorite player of the draft.
I don't care. I think that if I look at through the rest of the roster, we got other guys who could run back a punt.
We do have guys that could run back a punt for sure.
Yeah, and if Debo...
Well, Debo could do it. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't necessarily want him to do it because, once again...
Why not? He's a weapon.
Pitch count.
Yeah, on offense.
Pitch count.
By the way, I want him returning kicks. He's a contract year. I want him doing everything.
Just use that black man up, huh? I see what you're doing.
I didn't say it like that, but...
He's a commodity. We got to use him until he ain't worth anything. Use him up.
He wants to make money. That's a
boy. You want to make that money? You better go do that.
Okay, no, you were doing too far. This was the show. This was District
Full
Divided.
Circle. Bitches get in the kitchen. Black men run that football.
All these things you said, more specifically, a Washington Commanders podcast. I am Amit. That is KDot. Thank you guys for listening to today's episode. And if you enjoyed it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, comment as you always do, give us your mock drafts, and KDot.
Fight racism and sexism wherever you see it.
Yes.
And then share this shit.
Share this shit. Fight those things, please. And then catch us tomorrow live when we do our draft special, so we can break down. What'd you say?
Like positive masculinity versus your toxic shit.
There's no.
It's men trying to figure out how it is they navigate. We're under attack, and it's because of guys like you.
Assassination, and it's all fake. You're doing it off of this fictitious character named A-Train. That, oh, by the way, I did get a text. You know what? Quick after the pod. After the pod begins right.
I'm not ready for that at all.
Now.
God damn. I saw you on that goddamn Signal text thread with Pete Hexon, just talking a bunch of shit.
First off, what's on Signal stays on Signal. That's one, right? Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. Secondly, I got a text from a buddy who I will not name who it is.
JD Face.
Hey, that guy, everywhere he is, people are dying. Huh? Like it's serious, crazy. Anyway,
it's a hillbilly death.
Anyway, not JD Vance because we're not boys. Just to be clear. But one of my buddies texted me. He's been, I can't even say that, but basically he had himself a night. Okay, he had himself a night. I get a text the next morning. And it's like, hey, do you remember where we got the white tea shooters? And I was like, the what? He's like, yeah. I was like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Like it was clearly a text sent with like context baked into it already, assumed on my end. And I was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. 3 days later, get a text from him going, yo, my bad. Like it was just a hell of a night. I think another A-Train's developing. I don't know what to say. And that's literally what the text says. Thought of you, thought of me. A-Train's becoming a real disease, in fact. And it's starting to spread, KDot. So this is what you've done.
See, this is that bullshit. This is that shit where it's like, everybody come around the campfire for a second. Every once in a while, you meet somebody that has some issues, whether it be violence or addiction or something else. And they always reach a point before they want to find help that they have to blame everybody else for their issues. And this is what you're seeing right now. It's someone who can't take responsibility for their own actions. So now he's saying, I haven't created some sort of mental. No. But I'm saying that you said that I've created this disease or something. I'm responsible for it. All I did was name it. All I did was take it out of the dark. And make sure that people could see and diagnose it for what it is. I don't believe in lying. I believe in telling the truth. And I believe the truth sets you free. It's a light. It's a beacon of light. It's like when the Washington Post went away from democracy dies in darkness, right? Like right. You gotta do what you can to be a stand-up dude. Not to, I mean, as a man, right? We have certain things that we have, and I know this is controversial to say, but we have strength and we have certain physical prowess that we're able to. And with that, your responsibility as a man is to protect those around you, right? That's what a man does. He doesn't use his strength to take advantage of those and to inject and imbibe all these terrible things that make him even worse to be around. And it's why Clarendon's a no-go zone, unless you know how to fight. Unless you know how to fight, you got that thing on you. Stay the fuck out of Clarendon. He's our son.
And I do stay out of Clarendon, just to be clear. Absolutely stay.
Always stays out of Clarendon because he knows if he's around Clarendon, them handcuffs are coming on. There's been so much you can say, officer, it was my alter ego. I don't partake. It was him. He just looks like me. Sir, you slapped 6 bitches last night.
Okay.
You need to go to jail. Awesome fire! Clearly, I do not turn into my alter ego until I've had 6 drinks. I'm only at 5, Mr. Officer. 5 drinks.
The bit ossifer over and over again is a good touch there.
I'm just saying. I know, because I've been around it. I know a lot of you guys been around it post-COVID. A lot of people dealing with addiction issues. A lot of people dealing with mental health issues. What we do is we bring stuff to the light, and we are here, and we show these people with love that we are here for you. We will not make excuses for your behavior. We will hold you accountable for what it is you do. And we hope to God that one day you will see the error in your ways, and you will turn a new leaf, a new page, and a new chapter of a book that is life. But right now, you and your boys on some bullshit. Y'all gotta get it figured out. I need a co-host. We ain't doing this shit behind bars. I ain't calling collect.
I haven't missed a show. I bring this stuff abroad. Oh, yeah. Okay, I walked into that. All right, we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Hey, Trey, call up a fucking Jessup Correctional Facility. Hey, Pookie told me Jaden Daniels threw for 3 touchdowns. I couldn't see it. But he told me I got a tape. We don't want those days to come. We just care about you, bud. We care about you.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Stay away from jail.
In DC, we're just hoping that you listen.